Welcome to Right Side Trading, where you can learn how to trade on the right side with confidence. Today is July 27th, 2016. It's a Wednesday after the market close. I wanted to bring your attention to a couple of stocks that we were looking at and give you a quick review on it. But before we do so, let me direct your attention to our website, rightsideTrading.com. If you scroll to our disclaimer page, really quickly, let's go over our disclaimer. And the section we wanted to highlight is this right here, as always. Our products and services are provided solely for educational purposes. Our written and verbal statements, including those provided on our website by our staff members, testimony, individuals, affiliates, and clients, are personal judgments and should be regarded as such. These written and verbal statements do not constitute investment advice. We are not licensed financial investment advisors, so please make sure before you trade or invest, you seek the advice of a competent financial license advisor. All right, so that being said, the chart that we want to talk about today is the chart of the GDX, which is gold. Just this Monday, I was doing a webinar, and some of the people on the webinar was asking what we saw about gold, and we were letting them know that we had actually got out of gold because we had seen some weakness in gold, and that kind of like got us out of gold. We actually got out of our last position, I think last week Friday, which is somewhere down here, because at the time there was nothing showing that this market was ready to reverse at all. Well, in the last 2 days, things have changed, and this is the reason why it's so important to know how to read a chart. As of Friday, everything was still showing there was no signs of improvements, okay? And like I mentioned to the people that was listening to me on Friday, I said that the one thing about the market is the fact that we do not predict how far it can go, okay? So even though we were seeing that things were not looking so healthy, all we can do is just see what it's telling us and react accordingly. Now, that being said, once the market reverses, we also see that and we take action accordingly, okay? So some things are now developing in gold that is making us say, hey, you might want to get back into gold again. And I wanted to point out some of those things in particular, okay? One of the first things that we looked at is the fact that if you look at gold, for instance, we can look at this trend line right here as now breaking above that resistance line right there. So that's one very powerful thing right there. That was one thing we were waiting to see, that if gold can break above this resistance line that was created back then, we would look at gold and say that is something that we want to do. So this resistance line right here, again, this resistance line right here is what we're looking at, and now we've broken out above that, so that's a very good thing, okay? The second thing is the fact that, you know, gold made a double bottom on the RSI, okay, right there, if you can see that. We had a double bottom right there on the RSI, and now it's beginning to bounce back up. And one of the biggest things is if you look at when it made double bottoms, you can see where gold, I mean, it wasn't exactly a double bottom, but really close to it. You can see that that corresponded to somewhere around here where it started rallying back up. So you can look at this rally right here. Same thing right here. We're looking at this double bottom right here. That corresponded to this right here that made, you know, gold go up for quite some bit right there, okay? And we also see, you know, another double bottom right here, okay, that corresponds to this down here, which also made gold go up. So the question is, we also have another double bottom right here, all right, which corresponds to this right there, and gold went up just a little bit. So the fact that we have now seen a double bottom that is now beginning to head back up, this is now, and plus we see RSI breaking above this resistance level right here, just as we saw RSI break above this resistance level right here, just as we saw RSI break above this right here, just as we saw RSI break above this right here, and just as we see RSI breaking above this right here. All this is kind of like signs that, you know, gold is ready to go higher in the short term. Now, how high would it go? Who knows? We don't look at it that way, but all we see is a chart that is saying that it is ready to start going back up. So for that reason, we are beginning to look into some other stocks that might actually get us back into gold. Some of those stocks in particular would be stocks such as, let's say, VGZ, okay? If we look at VGZ, this is a stock that is a very cheap stock at about $1, all right? And the same thing is happening as well with VGZ, okay? So we can see somewhere right here. Oh, let me change that color right there. 1 second. Let's change it to red. We can see that somewhere right here. Let's redo that again. Let's do this. Okay, so we can see that somewhere right here, if you can see that circle right there, this area right here is what we're looking at. All right, we can see that we've had, you know, something like that. Now, we didn't have a double bottom over here, okay, but that's okay because, again, we are looking at gold in general. When we look at a GDX, which is an ETF of gold, we can see that that's kind of going up. So it's just one of those things where you want to start looking at some stocks that you actually want to enter based on that information, okay? Another stock is IAG. Let's go to IAG real quickly. Okay, so here's another stock that you might want to pay attention to as well, okay? And as you can see, this is another one where it made a double bottom right there. It made its double bottom right here, okay? You can see that double bottom that it made right there. All right, let me see if I can draw this as a straight line right there. Double bottom, okay, and we can see that, you know, RSI is breaking out to the upside. So that again is a very, you know, neat sign that this market or this stock is ready to go higher. So you might want to take a look at that. That one is a $5 stock, another cheap stock. A lot of people keep on wondering, oh no, we shouldn't buy cheap stocks. You shouldn't buy cheap stocks. You shouldn't buy cheap stocks. But I leave you to say that, you know, if you got into this from back in February at $1.50, look at where the stock is at right now at $5. Okay, so we did get out, but we're looking to get back in as well. A lot of these trades we've made over 100% on these trades. And then the last one that I'm going to show is this stock right here, DRD, and very similar pattern as well. Okay, you can see the double bottom that is showing on the RSI right here. That is showing us that things are about to change. Right there, we see that double bottom right there. Okay, you can see that double bottom. Let me draw that one more time, very slowly. Bang, right there. Okay, so you can see that double bottom right there, and we can see that, you know, the stock is also breaking out over here. So we're looking at a stock that is looking like it's ready to go higher. All right, so as always, you know, we say, you know, you can learn to read the charts by simply going to our website, check out our homepage, check out different things that we have over here. Because at the end of the day, it is all about learning how to read a chart. The cool thing about it is we're trying to show you things that are happening before it takes place. Whether we're right or wrong, you'll be able to see that. There are ways that you can get out of the trades. Oh, by the way, when do you know it's time to get out of the trade? Well, if you enter this trade and gold decides to drop below this level right here, you know, it's time to get out. This level right here, it's time to get out, okay? So again, you can always see what the chart is telling you. You know what to do. In this case right here, if we're looking at this stock, our level that we want to play, let's see if we can do this, is this right here. Okay? So a close below here will tell you that it's time to get out of this trade. Until then, you stay in this trade and make your money. Okay? So look at what happens to gold going forward. We've already talked about it now. You know where your exit should be. You know when your entry should be. And then now just letting it ride, make your profit, and, you know, see how that goes. So again, you know, as we always say, whenever you trade, you always want to trade with confidence. So learn to trade on the right side with confidence.